The creator wishes to indicate due to closed borders, his overseas exploration has grinded to a halt. Instead, he has left us with an array of periodical documentations which he desires to share.
Rome to myself. So we begin in the beautiful foothills of Italy.
Jokes, you're not getting a full panorama.
I had just spent a month renovating and gardening at an ancient Italian monastery. And then there were none. But all good things must come to an end. I trained into Rome late that night with only a few dollars in my pocket, so I walked the streets and ended up with the entire city to myself. Vatican City, Castel Sant'Angelo, the Colosseum and the Trevi Fountain, all for yourself if you commit to a journey when others won't. And that gravel path is exactly where I rested that night. Don't tell Mum. And that morning it returns to its bustling self. So see the sights, but get lost down the quiet streets too. Gullet baths, 100 old naked Hungarian men, and I. I rose at 5 a.m. in Budapest, walking to the famous Gullet hotel baths, hoping I'd arrive early enough to bathe with the locals. I ended up in a Wes Anderson film. I'd never swam with so many naked old men, but I felt accepted, like one of them. You never know what you'll find when you seek for yourself, right? The revolution the German government don't want you to see. The strange thing about where I am right now
As Caleb clocking in, I'm in Germany, in Buir, at Camp for Future.
is that by the time you're watching this, it may not exist. But when you're here, it's not hard to see why. Just a stone throw away from the playgrounds and bakery is Europe's largest coal mine. But that's what brings me here, because it's inexcusable and a harsh reality of our actions toward the earth. But thankfully there are heroes in the forest. Activists who have lived in the trees to prevent the miners swallowing the ancient Humby forest. So we join them in solidarity because the potential outcome is always worth the effort. Adriatic homesick blues. If you've ever wanted to be in a Disney movie, look no further than Cesky Krumlov. We were all admiring the beauty, of course, and I met someone in the process. He took a photo of me and we exchanged backgrounds, him from South Korea and myself from New Zealand. He gasped. Seeing it took me back too, and I felt grateful to call the world's most beautiful country home. I had to write about it. My out-of-reach reward for 40 hours of train rides. I don't know if you've ever taken 20 sleepless trains through 10 countries at breakneck speed, but at the end you'd surely expect your chocolate bar to drop out of the vending machine. Tourist and local, equally reluctant. China is an outlier, a mixed bag. Its obedience, controlled chaos, and labyrinth of lives naturally pose the novice tourist with questions. It's mysterious, right? See, I knew all that, but I wasn't ready for this. Likewise, they get a lot of tourists, but when I asked for a photo, no one obliged. So all I have proof of this trip is a shaky picture from a reluctant police officer. The real guardians of the ancient city of Jordan. When you think of an ancient city situated in the desert of the Hashemite kingdom of Jordan, you'd think it's heavily crammed by the world's explorers, gravediggers and guards. But you'd be wrong. These are the rail guards of the city of Petra. Meeting one of the world's most powerful.
Alright, so
It's Christmas night at the Vatican and weird signs hint something is about to happen.
this is too intense.
All hands on deck here at the Vatican.
Okay, we're starting to get crushed by people. There's no babies over here. There's a baby here.
Chances are good chance. And then out of nowhere, out comes the big man himself. They're a powerful, well-known people, but remember, they are no different to you and me. If you seek to meet them, you can, and so on a wild New Year's night in Rome, I set out and did meet the Pope.
No high fives there. Oh, but he was within a meter, you know. That means we met him, I think. Isn't he acquaintance? Oh, I told you all I'd get to meet the bloody Pope.
Kind of. The happiest kids in the world. Some people say that those who have the least give the most, and whether you believe that or not, young children certainly always do. With their time and smiles, they never hesitate to a welcoming. Because they're the purest form of a human. They have no concept of envy or lust or gluttony. When they're sad, they're genuinely justifiably sad. And when they're happy, they're rays of sunshine. And we must protect that. All in good fun, of course.
Good read.